Hi everyone. So I told you guys I will be coming back with part 2 for Rebirth A Gift Series. This is part 2 of that. So again, this is Rebirth TV, revolutionizing, transforming, and inspiring film, TV, and media. Our website is www.rmn.global, as you see that there. So this is the TV series. This will be a part of the Rebirth TV network, or Rebirth TV, part of the RMN, which is Rebirth Media Network. So this is the Rebirth A Gift series, which is part of the novel series 1, which is conception right here. So we already went over that in part 1, so I'm just going to scroll down here. Again, this is www.rmn.global, the website. So please go take a look and just get more insights and information on Rebirth Media Network and Rebirth TV. Here it's Rebirth A Gift. Now this is a novel. And again, just wanted to show you that. I did give a description of that in part 1 that you can take a look at. But again, this is a depiction of the actual novel that you can get at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, and so forth on the website, www.rmn.global. Again, this is Rebirth A Series. So we've already gone over part 1 of conception. So I'm just going to go down here to part 2 because I don't want the videos to be too long, simply because I'm kind of going over a lot of information. I just want you to be able to soak it in and just think about it as well and reflect. So this is part 2 down here. So number 1 is, are you a super empath? Now, this is very interesting. The super empath, again, is a very, very powerful being. Now, the super empath has highly intuitive, empathic abilities that has been embedded through the experience of dealing with narcissism, narcissistic abuse, in any form. It could be in a relationship, a toxic relationship within the family, multi-generational. So you've seen trauma from grandmother, great-great-grandmother, so forth back then. So, but the super empath is a very highly intuitive, powerful being. Now, as you see here on the cover, the concept is very empowering, not only from a feministic perspective, but also spiritual. As you can see here, she has the wings, she has the dove, she's standing in a state of empowerment because the super empath has actually been restored. So the cover is a she because the main character is, or the main protagonist in the story is actually a female. But this could be male or female as far as a super empath. And the wings just represents her ability to fly now. Like now she has endured the most compelling, transformative experience, has healed, restored, has gone through all of these life lessons as a result of narcissism, narcissistic abuse, sociopaths, psychopaths. There are some people out there that I know have endured sociopathic people. And this is something that I would definitely dive into as the series unfold. Okay, the Rebirth A Gift series unfold. But also the wings is just her ability to fly now. She's no longer bound by the pain and the suffering that she went through. The mask. Now, part of the novel is actually there's a lot of deception that is encapsulated in those that have experienced narcissism or narcissistic abuse. There's a lot of secrets. So the mask represents that as well. Not only an aspect of the New Orleans culture, the mask is a huge symbolic or symbolism in New Orleans, which is where the actual story takes place for us to plot in the book or in the novel, Rebirth a Gift. But as you can see here, she has the dove. The dove is a very powerful spiritual symbol as well, or emblem. And you see it's resting on her shoulder. So now she's ready to fly. She's ready to elevate. She's already in her place of ascension. She has reached her super empathic or she has birthed into the super empath. Okay. And as you can see, just the hat, the covering is just another way. It's just another symbol of a covering that's bigger than yourself. That's bigger than her as the main character, which is Opal. And so the cover is very symbolic of a super empath. And that's where the vision came into play or came into fruition, is because of the idea of a super empath. So there's many of you out there that have a superhuman being, a super empath embedded in you, but you have not completely ascended to your state of super empathic or the super empath. Okay, so one of the things I will go into detail is a little more definitions when it comes to what's an empath, what's a super empath, just to get more clarity and understanding, but so you can know who you are becoming. You are becoming your narcissism. Everything that you experienced was a result of the trauma, the complex trauma. So the more trauma you experience, once you go through your healing process and you become whole and you become a person that now can still empathize with others, you can still feel others people's feelings, you can still have a level of compassion and kindness despite your own trauma. But you have to go through the journey. Okay, so part of the cover here is just really exemplifying that. It's all symbolic, but as you read the novel, you will actually see how empowering this cover is. Okay, so as the character is developed, which is Opal, she is an African American woman, as you can see here, but she is symbolic. Okay, she represents not only African Americans, but any person, female, male. Okay, this is symbolic. She represents that person that is experiencing narcissism, narcissistic abuse. Okay, that's experiencing these things and has came into contact with very dark personalities, sociopaths, psychopaths. So you do not become a super empath. This is a very tumultuous process, okay, to actually be birthed into this powerful being. Okay, so rebirth is part of that process, and the book represents that process of going through the complex trauma, processing, going through the journey. Okay, so number 2, and we already kind of went into that when it comes to understanding the main character, Opal, and her journey to her spiritual awakening, ascension, and transcendence. Okay, so this is a part that I'm really going to spend some time unwrapping, because to really understand the book, not only the book, but your own experience, your own rebirth experience. This is what we're going through. You're going through a process of becoming that powerful super empath. And you guys are out there, I know. Okay? So I'm speaking to you. You are Opal. Okay? This is a character. Again, this is symbolic. All right? Your experience is actually going through trauma. You have experienced complex trauma. And this is something that I will really dive deeper into, not only the terminology, but the foundational premises so that you can understand, okay, to give you the knowledge, because knowledge is power. Because this is going to unlock your superhuman power, okay, as a super empath. So understanding the main character Opal and her journey to her spiritual awakening. In part 1, I did go over the spiritual awakening. This is a process. The spiritual awakening is a process, okay? So I'll be taking you through that journey, okay, as you awaken. To know what you're experiencing, to get understanding and wisdom, and knowledge, so you can go through to transcendence, which is the super empath, which is the symbolic picture of Opal on the cover. Discover how to unleash your feminine energy in the purest form. So that's number 3. So that's something that, oh wow, I am really gonna dig deep into on part 2 of the series, Rebirth a Gift Series. Because your feminine energy is stuck. Your spiritual self of your own creation, of being female. This is what I'm speaking of. That there's trauma that you have gone through that has you stuck. So a lot of times we don't know how to unpack the trauma. So what we do, we just pack it down, okay? As well as packing down our femininity in its purest form, because it cannot be pure because you have experienced all this trauma with narcissism, with narcissistic abuse, within a toxic relationship. Learn how to effectively transcend into your most powerful state and embrace the power of your femininity. So this is all a process of transcendence into your powerful state as a female, but also as a male. But again, the main character, Opal, is female, okay? But it is symbolic. To embrace your masculinity as well, because there are men that has gone through trauma. And also number 5, we're gonna also probably do a live on reading from the novel, which is part 2, of the Rebirth a Gift series. And just really just kind of giving you some insight into the novel and how the characters are all connected and how your story is connected within the story and how your personal experiences can be a story, okay? So it's all connected. It's all going to be empowering. It's all going to make you feel so alive and amazing. It's going to be like nuggets. It's just going to click for you, okay? Because this is information that I had no clue about. Now, if I had this information as I was going through my experience of transcendence and also my experience of healing from the complex trauma, I would have definitely went through it a lot sooner. I'm not saying that it could have avoided it. I could have avoided the experience, but it would have made the process a little smoother to understand what is happening. So we'll also give some fun giveaways, which is on our website. It's www.rmn.global, which is like t-shirts, merchandise from the book, cups, hats, things of that nature. So just make it fun. And also number 6, which will actually be the end of part 2. I'm going to end this here, but it is, will the family saga continue? Will there be a rebirth 2? Okay, so rebirth 2 is just a part 2. So part of the readings, I'm probably going to jump around the book a little, but stay tuned. This is Rebirth a Gift TV series. I'll see you guys on the next one.